The last question on the Graphing Inequalities quiz, question number 5, gave you an illustration of a graph and wanted you to write the inequality. Now there are multiple things that you have to take into consideration whenever you're going to write the inequality. You have to decide what type of line you've got. Is it greater than? Is it less than? Is it greater than or equal to? Less than or equal to? Based on dotted or solid. You've got to determine slope and y-intercept if you want to write it in slope-intercept form. And then you also have to determine shading, which is also going to be part of that inequality. Is it greater than? Is it less than? That sort of thing. Now this inequality is actually very simple, this graph is, because you have a completely horizontal line. And what we've learned about horizontal lines is that they have zero slope. Horizontal lines have zero slope. Slope is m, and that m times x, so mx plus b is slope-intercept form. M times x, if m is 0, if your slope is 0, 0 times x is 0. That means that with a horizontal line, we do not have an x-intercept. Okay? So this is what I mean. This is what, now I'm thinking in terms of equations here, so just bear with me because I want to make sure you understand this. But this is what it looks like for an equation. If this has 0 slope, 0 times x is 0. So this is what my equation would look like. And we've graphed these several times. So that's what I'm going to have here for this problem, except it's going to be an inequality. So I'm going to have a y, and then I'm going to have some type of inequality symbol. I'm not sure what just yet. And then I'm going to have that b, that y-intercept. All right, so let's analyze this. All right, I know I've got y. What is my y-intercept? Where does this line cross the y-axis? And for this problem, it crosses at -3. And if you notice, it's going to be -3 no matter what. Y is always -3. 2, -3, there's that point. -3, -3, there's that point. So y is always -3 on this line. All right, now we've got to figure out what's this inequality symbol. I've got 4 choices. I've got less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. These are my 4 choices for my inequality symbol that I'm going to put here in the middle. All right, well, let's look at our line. It's a dotted line. So that's automatically going to knock out 2 of these 4 choices. If I have a dotted line, that means that I am not dealing with anything that is equal to that line. Okay, so now I'm down to a 50-50 shot here on my answer. But let's not guess. Let's actually think about this logically. Look at all of these values that are shaded in this problem. Are these values, thinking about y here, look at your y-axis, are these values on the y-axis, are they less than -3? Or are these values on the y-axis, are they greater than -3? And in this case, in this problem, all of these values here are greater than -3. And so this right here is the inequality that represents this graph.